Guys, the brand new Traxxas Jato has been revealed and we've got a lot more information about it for you. There's some really cool things on here, some new parts, and a couple of surprises I'm not too thrilled about. So stay tuned because it's going to be interesting. And if you want to see all the latest news, reviews, bashing and crashing, make sure you get subscribed because we're doing that here first. Now, taking a closer look at this, we've got an unboxing that gives us a really good look at some of the new features of this car. And there's more new than I expected there to be. While we don't have dimensions yet, this obviously looks like it's going to be a 1/8 scale buggy. This is a new buggy body and it looks really good. This body is going to be attached to the chassis with a clipless body system. Traxxas seems to really have gone for that under the chassis style of clipless system, and I personally think it works better than any of the other options. This one's a little bit different from what they have on the XRT or the Max Slash. As opposed to the clips being up in the wheel wells, which of course this doesn't have, the clips are actually integrated into the chassis itself, which should give it some nice strength. And being a buggy body, this thing's going to be pretty strong to begin with, as it's already protected by those front and rear shock towers. Looking closer underneath the body, we can see obviously those front and rear shock towers are brand new, and the chassis that they're connected to is also brand new. The layout does look familiar. This is the same basic layout as we've seen on pretty much all of the 3S cars for many years, but there are some pretty significant differences. The one that jumps right out at me is that chassis brace. This is integrated into the top plate and completely covers the center drive shaft. Next to that, you can see Traxxas is still using their proprietary battery tray. This has a clip-in style hold down that'll be specifically designed to work with their batteries. Usually these platforms do have options for different hold downs, but it is fairly limiting. I'm sure the aftermarket will come along and make plenty of options available for batteries that aren't made by Traxxas though. On the other side of this, we have the BL2S brushless system, which should be reasonably powerful for this truck, though given the price, which we'll talk about in just a minute, it seems a little bit under-spec'd. This is the same BL2S system we find in the lower end Stampede and Slash, as well as the new upcoming Mini Max. Obviously, you'll be able to upgrade to things like the VXL 3S system, which should turn this thing into an absolute rocket ship. Putting that power down to the ground are the new upgraded plastic drive shafts, very similar to the style we first saw in the Traxxas Max, and the same as what comes in the HD kit, as well as in the new updated versions of the rest of the 3S line. Moving out from that, we're going to have the rest of the HD kit as well, including the hubs and knuckles, which is really great to see, especially on a fairly light car such as a 1/8 scale buggy. These tires have that same sledgehammer pattern that we've all come to know and love. Traxxas is really milking the name and the pattern design, but they are good tires, so I expect them to be good on this car as well. Those are actually being held on by 17mm hexes, which is normal for a 1/8 scale buggy, but not normal for this platform. I'll be really curious to see if we can swap that hardware over to something like the Stampede and retrofit 17mm hexes to it. One welcome change that I'm really excited to see is the Ultra shocks appear to be gone. These are some brand new shocks. These are not Ultra shocks, they're not big bore shocks, they're not GTR shocks. These are plastic bodied, plastic cap shocks, but they are threaded body shocks. They appear to have larger diameter shafts. The spring perches are positively retained, and this does appear to be an all new design. Whether or not this will propagate through the rest of the 3S platform series, I'm not sure, but I really hope it does because those Ultra shocks have been around way too long and it's time for them to go. Looks like we're gonna have an option for sway bars, but we're not getting sway bars out of the box, which is a little bit disappointing because most buggies do have sway bars to improve handling. It looks like we're also going to get non-adjustable links all the way around, though there are different link mounting options. I think some people are going to be disappointed in that, again, given that price. Speaking of the price, this thing looks like it's going to be $350, and whereas that's pretty close to in line with other fairly budget 1/8 scale buggies, it's a lot of money for what you're getting. This has a 2S power system in it, non-adjustable links, and feels like a budget car. Of course, if it's super durable and a lot of fun, people are going to be willing to pay that price, but it definitely feels like you're going to be paying the Traxxas tax on this one. All right, guys, that's all the information we have for now. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. As soon as this thing gets officially released, I'll give you all the details on it. I'll definitely be getting one pre-ordered, so make sure you get subscribed if you want to see a full teardown of this thing, and check out one of these videos.